Representative Maxine Waters. Whatever Maxine says, I agree with.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store.
I don't like to brag about the expensive places I've been, but night before last, I went to the grocery store.
At a gasoline station.
They are stressed out over these soaring gas prices.
It made me want to stop and slap somebody.
You get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Before I begin, let me say a few words quickly about today's report on inflation. It's frustrating, it's inconvenient, and it's bad for the environment. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch.
You're not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it is good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before. I mean, it's not. I can make it sound like all of a sudden, my God, it went to 8.2%. But guess what we are? We're in a position where, for the last several months, it hasn't spiked. Americans are squeezed by the cost of living. It's been true for years, and folks don't need a report to tell them they're being squeezed. Fighting this battle every day is the key reason why I ran for President of the United States.
With all due respect, that's a bunch of malarkey.
That means they're going to repeal the $2,000 cap on prescription drugs. Gone. Cap on insulin. Gone. At $35. Savings on health care premiums average of $400 a person. Gone. Savings on your utility bills. Gone. Republican wins, inflation is going to get worse. It's that simple.
Today, the president argued that the economy is not in a recession. And it was a year ago that the president said that inflation would be temporary. So the question is, why should Americans take his word for it now when the president got it wrong on the economy a year ago?
So here's,
We've allowed our airports, though, to lag behind our competitors. Not anyone. Not anyone. This is the United States of America. This is the United States of America, for God's sake. But I have to say one thing. True international effort to pressure. Even Republicans can get behind this law, although some of them have a funny way of showing this. Last week you saw it too, an interesting report on CNN. You all may have seen it. I don't know if CNN is here.
People aren't buying at CNN, you dumb bastards.
But they put out a report. The headline was, quote, Republicans call Biden's infrastructure program socialism. The report describes Republicans, in detail, I'm not going to mention their names, who voted against the infrastructure bill, called me and it socialist, and then attacked it, all Democrats for passing it. Socialism, radical spending, rushed and irresponsible. And Speaker Pelosi says they vote no and then they take the dough.
No point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one.
Let me close with this. It's been a rough 4 or 5 years for the country. For a lot of your families, things are still pretty tough. Even though you got good paying jobs and health insurance, it's still pretty tough. But there are bright spots.